Ladies and gentlemen, words are not just sounds or letters strung together. They are powerful forces that shape our lives. The words we speak can create or destroy, build up or tear down, open doors or keep them locked. Many of us don't realize the weight our words carry, but everything we say sets something into motion. Whether we recognize it or not, our words have the power to influence our future, our mindset, and even the opportunities that come our way. Think about it. How often do we speak negativity over our own lives without even realizing it? We say things like, I'll never get that promotion. I'm not smart enough to start my own business. Nothing good ever happens to me. Or I'm always struggling. And then what happens? Life aligns with our words. Doors that could have opened stay shut. Opportunities that could have come our way seem to disappear. It's not because we're cursed or unlucky. It's because we've unknowingly built barriers with our own words. Now let's flip that around. What if we started speaking life instead of doubt? What if instead of saying, I'll never get that promotion, we said, I am highly favored and opportunities are coming my way? What if instead of saying, I'm always struggling, we said, I have everything I need and more is coming? The moment we shift our words, we shift our reality. Our words are seeds, and whatever we plant will eventually grow. If you keep speaking words of failure, you will see failure. If you keep speaking words of lack, you will see lack. But if you start speaking words of success, breakthrough, and favor, you will begin to see doors open in ways you never imagined. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a principle that has been true for generations. Let me ask you something. What are you speaking over your life right now? Are you speaking words that open doors or words that keep them shut? Sometimes the biggest obstacle standing between you and your breakthrough isn't someone else, isn't the economy, isn't your circumstances. It's your own tongue. Now, some people might say, well, just saying something doesn't change anything, but that's not true. Think about how words have shaped history. Wars have started with words. Peace treaties have been signed with words. Marriages begin with words. Lives are changed by words. When someone tells you, I believe in you, doesn't it shift something inside of you? And when someone says, you'll never make it, doesn't that do something too? Words hold energy. They carry weight. They release either faith or fear, courage or discouragement, possibility or limitation. That's why you have to be intentional about what comes out of your mouth. You can't afford to casually speak negativity over your life anymore. You can't afford to keep saying, nothing ever works out for me, because that statement is a lock on the very doors you're trying to open. Instead, you need to start speaking what you want to see, even if it hasn't happened yet. That's called faith. Faith doesn't wait until the door opens to believe it can. Faith declares the door is open even while it still looks shut. So when you wake up in the morning, instead of saying it's just another hard day, say, today I am walking into favor and opportunity. Instead of saying, I never get good breaks, say, doors are opening for me and I will step into them. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, say, I am moving forward and nothing can hold me back. Your words have power. Your words shape your reality. If you want to see doors open, you have to start speaking like they already are. Because once you change your words, you change your world. It's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to believe it and take action. Many people speak positive words, declare success over their lives, and even say all the right things, but they never move. They sit and wait for things to change instead of stepping out in faith. And here's the truth. Words are powerful, but without action, they are incomplete. Faith is what takes words and turns them into reality. Think about a locked door. You can stand in front of it all day long saying, this door will open, but if you never reach out and turn the handle, how will you know if it's really locked? How will you know if it's already open, just waiting for you to step forward? That's how life works. Many people declare blessings, but never step forward to receive them. They talk about breakthrough, but they don't position themselves for it. Faith is not just speaking, it's moving. It's taking a step even when you don't see the whole staircase. It's making decisions that align with what you believe even before the proof shows up. You can't just say, doors are opening for me, and then sit back doing nothing, expecting opportunities to magically fall into your lap. You have to walk like the doors are already open. You have to act like the promotion is coming, like the business is growing, like the opportunity is on its way. Look at the people who succeed in life. They don't just dream, they act. They don't just hope, they prepare. They don't just say, I believe something good is going to happen. They position themselves so that when the opportunity arrives, they're ready for it. The difference between those who see doors open and those who don't isn't just their words. It's their faith combined with action. Some people pray for a new job, but never apply anywhere. Some people declare financial freedom, but never change their spending habits. Some people ask for healing, but don't take care of their bodies. Faith without action is incomplete. You have to align what you say with what you do. Imagine a farmer who says, I believe this is going to be my best harvest yet, but never plants any seeds. That would be ridiculous, right? He can stand in his field all day declaring growth and abundance, but if he never gets his hands in the soil, nothing will grow. His words have power, but they require action to produce results. Now apply that to your own life. You can say, doors are opening for me, but what steps are you taking toward that open door? Are you preparing yourself for the opportunities you're asking for? Are you learning the skills you need? Are you making the connections that will put you in the right place at the right time? Are you stepping out even when you don't see the full picture? Faith isn't about having all the answers before you move. It's about trusting that if you take one step, the next step will become clear. It's about knowing that even if the door doesn't open right away, every step you take gets you closer to it. So if you truly believe doors are opening for you, act like it, walk like it, move like it, position yourself for it. Because when faith and action come together, nothing can stop what's meant for you. The biggest locked doors in life are often not the ones in front of us, but the ones inside our minds. Many people think their problem is a lack of opportunity, a lack of resources, or even a lack of luck. But in reality, the biggest thing keeping them from stepping into their next level is the mental barriers they've built over time. We all have them. Thoughts that limit us, fears that hold us back, doubts that make us second guess ourselves. These mental barriers don't come from nowhere. They are built over time, shaped by past failures, negative experiences, criticism from others, or even things we've been told since childhood. Someone may have said, you're not smart enough, or people like us don't get ahead, or you should be happy with what you have and stop trying for more. And without realizing it, we start living by those words. But here's the truth. Those words are not reality. They are not facts. They are just mental barriers. And like any barrier, they can be broken. The problem is most people don't even realize they are trapped by their own thinking. They assume the door is locked without even trying to push it open. They convince themselves that success is for other people, that joy is for other people, that breakthroughs happen for other people, but not for them. Let me ask you something. How many times have you talked yourself out of an opportunity before you even tried? How many times have you assumed something wouldn't work without even giving it a shot? How many times have you let fear keep you from stepping forward? That's a mental barrier at work. And the longer you allow it to stay in place, the stronger it becomes. Mental barriers are tricky because they disguise themselves as logic. They make you think you're just being realistic when in reality you're just letting fear run the show. They make you think you're protecting yourself from failure, but in reality you're just keeping yourself stuck. If you want doors to open in your life, you have to break those mental barriers. You have to challenge the thoughts that tell you you can't. You have to push past the fears that try to keep you small. You have to stop assuming things won't work and start believing that they just might. Look at your life right now. What thoughts have been holding you back? What stories have you been telling yourself that aren't actually true? Maybe you've been saying, I'll never be able to do that, or I don't have what it takes, or people like me don't succeed. But where did those beliefs come from? Who told you that? And more important, every great success story begins with someone who refused to let their mind keep them locked in place. There are people who have built incredible businesses, broken generational cycles of struggle, or stepped into new opportunities, all because they refused to believe the lie that they weren't good enough. Antley, why are you still carrying that belief when it's only keeping you stuck? The only thing standing between you and the next open door is the story you keep telling yourself. If you want to see change, you have to rewrite that story. You have to start telling yourself something different. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I am capable and I am learning. Instead of saying, I always fail, say, I am growing and every step is bringing me closer to success. Instead of saying, doors never open for me, say, I am walking into new opportunities every day. Because the moment you break those mental barriers, you'll realize that the doors you thought were locked were never locked at all. They were just waiting for you to push them open. Saying something once is good, but saying it repeatedly is powerful. The reality is, most breakthroughs don't happen instantly. Doors don't always swing open the first time you knock. Success, growth, and transformation require persistence. They require you to keep speaking, keep believing, and keep pushing, even when it looks like nothing is changing. Many people give up too quickly. They speak positivity over their lives for a day or two, maybe a week, and then when they don't see immediate results, they stop. They say, well, I tried, but nothing happened. But that's the problem. Success isn't about trying once and walking away. It's about consistent effort, consistent belief, and consistent declaration. Think about it like planting a seed. When a farmer plants crops, he doesn't expect to see results overnight. He knows that growth takes time. He doesn't dig up the soil every day to check if something is happening. He trusts the process. He waters the seeds, gives them sunlight, and waits, knowing that even when he can't see it, something is happening beneath the surface. Your words work the same way. Every time you speak life, faith, and victory over your circumstances, you are planting seeds. Every time you declare, doors are opening for me, you're setting things into motion. But just like a seed takes time to break through the soil, your breakthrough might take time to show up in the physical world. And that's where persistence comes in. Repetition is a key principle of success. Look at any area of life, whether it's business, sports, relationships, or personal growth, and you'll see that the people who succeed are the ones who keep showing up. They keep putting in the work even when they don't see results right away. They keep practicing even when it feels like they're not getting better. They keep speaking faith even when their circumstances tell them otherwise. Think about an athlete training for a big competition. They don't just practice once and expect to be great. They train every day, repeating the same drills over and over again. They build muscle memory. They condition their bodies to respond a certain way. And because of that repetition, when it's time to perform, they're ready. Now apply that to your own life. What are you training your mind to believe? If you only speak positivity once in a while, but the rest of the time you're speaking doubt and fear, what do you think is going to win? If you only knock on the door once, but walk away when it doesn't open immediately, how will you ever know if it was about to open? You have to be consistent. You have to say it again and again. When fear tells you it's not working, say it again. When doubt creeps in, say it again. When circumstances don't seem to change, say it again. This is why repetition is so important, not just in speaking, but in action. It's not enough to say doors are opening for me if you're not also positioning yourself for those doors. It's not enough to declare success if you're not working toward it every single day. Repetition builds faith. It strengthens your mindset. It keeps you focused, even when the road gets tough. And most importantly, it keeps you moving forward. Because sometimes the door doesn't open the first time, not because it's locked, but because you need to keep knocking. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that just because a door hasn't opened yet, doesn't mean it never will. We live in a world that wants instant results. We expect success to happen overnight, opportunities to appear exactly when we want them, and prayers to be answered immediately. But that's not always how life works. Some doors open right away, but others take time, and when things don't happen as quickly as we expect, we start to doubt, we start to worry, and we even start to question whether those doors were ever meant for us in the first place. But here's the truth. Delayed does not mean denied. Just because you don't see movement right now doesn't mean things aren't shifting behind the scenes. Some doors take longer to open because they are leading to something greater than you can imagine. Sometimes the delay isn't about the door, It's about preparing you for what's on the other side. Think about it. If you walked through certain doors before you were ready, they wouldn't be a blessing. They would be a burden. If you got the promotion before you developed the leadership skills, you might struggle. If you stepped into the relationship before healing from past wounds, you might sabotage it. If you receive financial abundance without the wisdom to manage it, you might lose it just as quickly. The waiting season is not a wasted season, it's a preparation season. When God doesn't open a door right away, it's not because he's ignoring you or holding out on you. It's because he sees the full picture. He knows what's best for you. He knows when the timing is right. But this is where trust comes in, because waiting is hard. We get impatient. We look at other people who seem to be walking through their doors effortlessly, and we wonder, why not me? What's taking so long? And in those moments, we have a choice. We can either give in to frustration, or we can choose to trust that the right doors will open at the right time. Trusting God's timing doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means being faithful where you are, even while you're waiting for where you want to be. It means continuing to prepare, continuing to learn, continuing to grow, and continuing to declare that doors are opening even if you don't see them yet. Because faith is not just believing when things happen instantly, it's believing even when things take time. Think about a seed that's planted in the ground. You don't see anything happening at first. It looks like nothing is changing, but beneath the surface, roots are growing. The foundation is being laid, and when the time is right, that seed will break through the ground and grow into something strong and beautiful. That's exactly how God works in our lives. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because the door hasn't opened yet doesn't mean it won't. If you truly believe that God has good plans for you, then you have to trust his timing. You have to trust that the right doors will open at the right time. You have to trust that even in the waiting, you are being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. And when the time comes and that door swings open, you will realize that every moment of waiting was worth it. No matter how strong your faith is, no matter how determined you are, there will always be negative voices trying to hold you back. Some of those voices will come from the outside, people telling you that you're not good enough, that you're wasting your time, that your dreams are too big. Others will come from within, your own fears, doubts, and insecurities whispering, what if I fail? What if I'm not ready? What if this door isn't really for me? Negative voices are one of the biggest obstacles to success because they plant seeds of doubt. And once doubt takes root, it can stop you from stepping forward. Even when the opportunity is right in front of you. You can be standing before an open door, but if you've allowed negativity to convince you that you don't belong there, you'll hesitate. You'll second guess yourself. You'll talk yourself out of what was meant for you. This is why you must learn to silence the negative voices. You cannot afford to let them shape your decisions, your actions, or your future. You cannot allow other people's opinions to dictate what you believe about yourself. And you certainly cannot allow the lies in your own mind to become stronger than the truth of who you really are. Some of the negativity you hear will come from people who mean well. They might think they're protecting you from disappointment, or they might be speaking from their own fears and limitations. But just because someone else couldn't do it doesn't mean you can't. Just because they see obstacles doesn't mean you won't find a way through. Then there are the voices that are not well-meaning at all. These are the ones that want to see you fail. They want you to stay small because your success would challenge their comfort. They want you to give up because seeing you push forward reminds them of their own fears. But listen to me. Do not let their words take root in your heart. Do not allow people who have never walked in your shoes to tell you what you can or cannot do. And then there is the most dangerous voice of all, the one inside your own mind. This voice knows your weaknesses. It remembers every mistake, every failure, every moment of embarrassment. It tries to use those memories against you, whispering things like, you failed before, you'll fail again. Or, who do you think you are to dream that big? You have to recognize that this voice is not speaking truth, it is speaking fear. And fear is a liar. Fear will always try to keep you small. Fear will always try to keep you from stepping into the new, into the greater, into the blessings that are waiting for you. So how do you overcome these negative voices? You replace them with truth. When doubt says you're not good enough, you say, I am more than enough. When fear says you're going to fail, you say, I am built for success. When the world says, you don't have what it takes, you say, I have everything I need to walk through this door. And you don't just say it once, you say it over and over again until it drowns out the negativity. You declare your strength, your purpose, your worth, and your victory every single day. Because the more you speak life over yourself, the quieter those negative voices will become. Negative voices may always be there, but they don't have to control you, they don't have to define you, and they certainly don't have the power to close the doors that were meant for you unless you let them. One of the most powerful ways to open doors in your life is to walk in expectation, not just hope, not just wishful thinking, but true expectation, the kind that believes, prepares, and moves as if the door is already open. Many people pray for opportunities, they declare success over their lives, but deep down, they don't really expect anything to change. They are hoping, but they're not expecting. And there is a big difference between the two. Hope says maybe one day something good will happen. Expectation says, I know it's coming, so I'm getting ready right now. Hope waits for the opportunity to show up. Expectation prepares in advance. Hope looks at the door and wonders if it will open. Expectation walks up to the door with confidence, knowing that it was meant to be walked through. If you want to see breakthroughs in your life, you have to start living with expectation. You have to start moving, speaking, and preparing as if the answer is already on its way. Think about it. When you truly expect something, you act differently. If you knew for certain that a job offer was coming next week, wouldn't you start preparing for it today? If you knew for certain that the resources for your dream were about to show up, wouldn't you start planning now? If you truly believed that the doors were already opening, you wouldn't sit back and wait, you would take steps forward. Expectation changes your posture. It shifts your mindset. It moves you from waiting to preparing, from wishing to walking, from hoping to believing. And when you live with that kind of faith, you position yourself for the opportunities that are coming. Think about someone who is preparing for an important guest to arrive. They don't wait until the last minute to get ready. They clean the house, set the table, and make sure everything is in place. Why? Because they're expecting the guest to show up. They don't wait to see if the doorbell rings before they start preparing. They get ready before the arrival because expectation demands preparation. Now apply that to your own life. What are you asking for? What doors do you want to see open? And more importantly, how are you preparing for them? Are you waiting for a sign before you take action, or are you moving forward as if it's already done? Expectation is a magnet for opportunity. People who expect good things to happen attract good things. They carry themselves differently. They walk with confidence. They speak with faith. They show up prepared. And because they are already in position, they recognize and step into opportunities that others miss. Some people are waiting for life to prove itself before they believe, but that's not how faith works. Faith moves before the evidence appears. Faith steps forward before the door swings open. Faith doesn't wait to see. It walks as if it already knows. And here's the truth. The doors you are believing for may already be open, but if you're not expecting them, you might not recognize them. Many people miss their breakthrough not because the opportunity wasn't there, but because they weren't looking for it. They were waiting for something obvious, something big, something undeniable, while ignoring the small steps that were leading them right to it. You have to train your eyes to see possibility, your mind to think opportunity, and your heart to believe that good things are ahead. You have to wake up every morning and say, today something good is going to happen. Today I am walking into favor. Today doors are opening for me. And when you say it, you have to expect it. Not just with your words, but with your actions, with your posture, with your entire being. Because when you walk in expectation, you don't just see doors open. You step through them with confidence, ready for everything that's waiting on the other side.